I can go directly and say things like be consistent, do compound movements, count your macros, and don't overwork out. Yet I want this video to be much more than highlighting these bullet points. Before I begin, you might be wondering who am I, or you might not be wondering. Anyway, my name is Sean, and I'm an author who loves to work out. The reason I'm able to read and write today and even articulate in this language is because of me taking care of my health. I would give most of my credit to workouts. This habit alone has led me to understand the importance of delayed gratification. It has almost been 5 years that I have consistently been working out. And when I had begun to work out, I had also taken up this challenge of writing a book. So not only I was getting relieved while working out, I was mentally working out as well. So this synergy taught me a lot of lessons. It made me appreciate how valuable this life is, but that synergy at first wasn't clear. What I was doing, I didn't see results immediately. We humans sometimes want everything quickly, but with working out and writing, even though I didn't see the results quickly, I continued doing it. The reason was simple. To give you a little background, I was overweight. I didn't have a purpose. I was lazy and was hooked on short term gratification. I couldn't stay consistent on anything. If you want, you can watch my first video on YouTube, titled From Not Knowing English to Writing a Sci Fi Novel. And in short, before beginning this journey, I was living passively, doing the bare minimum and living that scripted life. A part of me could see that my life was passing me by and I could do more about it. The most challenging things for me were writing and getting in shape when I had that realization that I should do something in life. During the first year of my college, I began working out seriously. I would go to the gym 6 and 7 days a week. I would do that schedule of hitting every body part each day. For example, Monday would be chest day, Tuesday would be biceps and back, etc. The bottom line was I didn't see any significant results. After 6 months, the only change was that I had shed some fat, but I was overjoyed when I when a little bit of cuts below my lats started to appear. This was a great boost for me, even though I knew I had a mile to go. Also during the first this time, also during this time, as I also started to practice writing short stories, it led me to have some mental clarity. I started thinking about goals, really thinking about what I had in mind and whether I could turn that into reality or not. I think the mental clarity aspects also leads to the kind of food I was eating. Before college I would eat whatever I like, but right after beginning my college, I had begun to experiment with food. I went hard when it came to keeping unprocessed food out of my diet. I failed so many times at it that I would think of quitting everything. Yet I kept on going. This allowed me to cook for myself, meaning that I would cook for myself. I knew this might sound weird, but I think that a human being should be able to care for himself in every way, whether it's cooking or whether it's living alone. But anyway, coming to my trials and errors, I came to know that counting calories is important, but I kept on neglecting this aspect. I knew that I knew I should have dived more into what these macronutrients were and how to keep them in check. What this means is I wasn't counting my calories based on carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Instead, I thought that working out hard would solve all the problems. For the next 3 years, I kept on working hard, and the same went with writing, meaning I would write every day. And the main message in this video is some days I would be down and wouldn't feel like going to the gym or writing something. The thing is, I didn't allow some days to become many days. I didn't have that large gap of a period where I didn't do anything. I would always do something even though I didn't see any results, yet I would come back to train only not only when it came to exercising but also mentally when it came to writing. By this time, I knew that I have accustomed to this routine, but still, I didn't see any results, like those major results that I wanted to see. I didn't have a ripped physique, yet I had built up some muscles, but I was still a bit skinny fat. And I didn't like that because I was thinking that I was putting in so much work. By this time, I had also completed my undergraduation. I had long hair, but then I began something that gave me good results, even though a part of me knew that I should have followed this. And what is this? I began counting my macros. I counted it through an app called MyFitnessPal. Besides, there are a lot of apps available where you keep a diary of what you should eat every day, or what you eat every day. You should jot that down. All the, how should I put this? You, if you need to count your macros, you don't need to do all the maths. The apps have already figured this out. You just need to add your food, and everything will get calculated. And what you eat every day, carbs, fats, and protein, will get displayed in your app. With that approximation of what you are eating every day, you have a general idea about what a general idea of how many calories you should eat when you are cutting, and how many calories you should be eating when you are bulking up. I thought I was doing all if I was doing all kinds of exercises, doing deadlifts and whatnot. I thought that counting calories, I should also count calories, which I didn't previously. So I did count my calories. I started counting my calories, and I was shocked because sometimes I would eat a lot of calories and sometimes not enough. So I made this change to count my macros, or simply calories, every day. And this change alone made such a huge difference that I got really shredded. And I also made some changes that I still implement to this day. First was, I would not overwork out. Instead of working out 6, 7 days a week, I trimmed it down to 4 days. Previously, my macros showed me that I was eating more carbohydrates and fat, but not much protein. So I had to balance. And still, it's not that I only eat protein and keep my carbs and fats low. I give importance to all these three things equally. Good fats are important for your brain. This was the first change. The first change was, counting my calories. The second change was, instead of doing different and a lot of exercises, I reduced it down to compound movements. And what are compound movements? When you are hitting more than one muscle group, it's a compound movement. For example, pull-ups, push-ups, bench press, shoulder press, squats, and deadlifts. Also, I didn't overdo isolation exercises. I gave more importance to stretching and mobility. With this, my actual workouts became short and spontaneous. In this phase, I also started doing freelancing to check my writing skills, whether they were worth it or not. The real joy was I began paying my bills, but still I was facing a lot of failures. I still was improving when it came to writing. I slowly turned the first draft of my book into a proper novel. Previously, my book was terrible, and you know, with improving every day, I thought that the book had that potential, and it had that concept that I can improve every day and write every day. And when it came to work out, the bottom line is I still work out to this day, and it's forever. Just like breathe oxygen, workout is like that. Your health, you know, that foundation is built by your workout. And like 80 or 90%, your health depends on your workout, the kind of food you eat, and you can add on to that list meditation, reading books, uh, you know You can having sufficient sleep, you can add on to that list. So I work out, I still work out. And but the difference is, when had begun to uh, count my calories, I I began to train 4 days a week. You know, so from 4 days a week, I now I now train 3 days a week, and I'm slowly shifting to training 2 days a week. But every day, I do my stretching and mobility. Also, either I go for a run or I just walk every day. Besides, I also think that the common things that get neglected in having good health and a healthy body, there are a few things here. You have to have sufficient sleep, and you should have sufficient, you should have some kind of daily movement every day for an hour. If you can, you know, go out, and if you can do it for an hour, that's great. And the next thing is that you should expose yourself to the sunlight. If you do this within the first 3 hours of the day, that's awesome. And the next thing is, have real social connections, and drink enough water. If you do these 5 things consistently, I'm sure your life will be more alive and energetic. Besides, I'm an author as well as a freelancer. That's my job. And the reason writing is my living is because of me taking care of my health. It has given me mental clarity, and with writing, reading is complementary. These two things go together. And if you don't read, how can you write? You have to always learn, and working out gave me that boost to my writing. This has greatly helped me to deal with loneliness, anxiety, and even depression. Besides, I've barely faced writer's block, and I will admit that I have failed many times. I still do to this day, and but I often feel energetic. Also, I don't drink and I don't smoke, and yes, I do go out to eat. I think discipline should be flexible, and I can go on and on, but I think that I need to stop this video. And I wanted to keep things unedited, and I did have my notes prepared, and I wanted to see if I can speak in front of a camera for several minutes or not. And I hope that I have provided some value to you in this video. And if I did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I love you all.